Alright, what is up everyone? Azariel here and welcome to another MKX online session. And today we're going to be checking out the final of the first four DLC characters for Mortal Kombat X. First we had a look at Jason, then we had a look at Tanya, then we had a look at Predator, and now we're going to have a look at Tremor. Tremor was released yesterday on the 21st, and I didn't think he was going to get released that soon. I think this training variation video is going to be the longest I've ever done, because normally I just try to get through it, but I think this one is going to be quite lengthy because I went ahead and I tried to practice with him a little bit ahead of time, and he actually has some interesting things about him that I think is going to cause this video to go a lot longer than I originally intended. So first off, we're going to check out all of his variations and all his combos, all his special moves, and we're just gonna go down the line. So these are his three variations. He has crystalline, he has aftershock, and he has metallic. Now, I think we're gonna start off with crystalline. Now, first off, let me just say this on the side note: why did they, in the description for crystalline, why did they spell crystal and crystallization with a K, but in the variation they have a C? I don't understand that. Yeah, so we're gonna get started with this. Like I said, he has some interesting, very interesting things about him. Alright, now off the jump, just walking, he isn't the fastest walker in the game. And his like, instead of him just backing up and just running up like that, when he backs up, he doesn't just jump back like some of other characters do. He rolls, like he does a barrel roll. That was interesting. But now let's get to the fun stuff. So let's take a look at his normals. So we got square, all the square attacks, square, back square, overhead. Oh, that's a mid. That's a mid. I thought that was overhead. Forward. It's like a little thrust, karate thrust. And of course he has that aerial, pounce up, kicks, high kick, forward kick, a launcher, nice, back kick is a stump, and he has a double kick extension, double kick like that. That'd be good. I wouldn't recommend jumping with that though. I'm guessing if you try to meet somebody in the air, you'll probably want to use square, jumping square, but yeah. But next there's circle. Circle, he does a roundhouse. It stuns him, so you can probably set him up for some stuff after that. But we're gonna take a look at that later. Back, of course, that's a sweep, and the sweep has some good extension, but it's really slow on startup. That's probably one of the slowest sweeps I've ever seen, if not the slowest in this game. Down, like he actually does like a quake, because he can control earth. That's what Tremor is. He's an earth elemental. And forward, it's a jump forward kick, like a little dash kick up front. But he jumps and he does it and knocks him back a pretty good distance. That could probably give you some setups as well. So now let's take a look at his combos. Now, of course, I do this like so. I go with every other one, because it kind of, the ones that they do like this, it kind of just leads into this. So I just kind of like mark them as is. So let's take a look at these right here. First, you got the beast kick. The beast kick, square, square, circle. Then you have square, circle, X. Just some quick combos, I guess, if you're trying to, do some quick damage, maybe some quick chip. Then we got low rumble, which is square, triangle, down X. Puts him in a juggle state. Now that one right there probably is going to be like his most used right there. I just feel like that's just going to be like his best setup leading into everything else. Then he has body quake, which is forward square, triangle square, which is another. So that one right there, that's probably good to push somebody into the corner, and then, yeah, those just grab. He's awesome. Then he has rock on, which is back square, triangle square. He has Igneous Strike. Igneous Strike. Another launcher, which probably in the corner would do wonders for him. So let's take a look at Clean Strike, Mountainous Pain, Not for Granted. Ha! That's funny. Not for Granted. Now let's go with this one. Alright, and that's his entire combo list. Alright, so Clean Strike. 3 pimp slaps and a knockdown, triangle, square, triangle, Mountainous Pain. So it's the same as, what was the name of that one? Igneous Strike, or what it was? Yeah, Igneous Strike. It's the same as Igneous Strike, except it adds 2 more hits to it. You know. Right, so you do more damage with that. So I guess if you're just trying to just quickly, you know, get them, you could do it like that, opposed to doing like the 5-hit. I don't know what properties it has. It has Not for Granted, which is back, triangle, and circle. Alright, then he has Crater Kick, another quick overhead. Is that a mid hit? It is a mid hit. And then he has Shockwave, which is that stump from his basic attacks, and he shocks the ground like that. That's nice. So now we get to look at his variations and see what type of skills he has in Crystalline. So in this variation, he gains the Crystal Toss. Well, first let me clear this list. There we go. He gains the Crystal Toss, Crystallization, Summon Crystal, and he gains a bunch of things he can do with that. Let me turn that off. Summon Boulder, Crystal Slam, Blast. I'm trying to get every other one. Okay, so that's all of them. So Crystal Throw. Actually, that's not Crystal Throw, but yeah, it's back forward triangle. So it goes from, so it does 12 on a meter burn and does 8 regular. Then he has Crystal Cutter, which does 9 and a low hit, 12% on a meter burn. Yeah, it's Crystallization. I think this is less damage. I think he takes less damage when he does this, which is down, down, square. Yeah, he takes less damage. The meter burn, I don't know how much it does. It would be cool if he didn't take any damage at all. Or like, well, I guess that would be kind of broken if he did. But next up we have Summon Boulder. And this one can do a couple things. You can press down and R1. So basically, like in this version, like he's able to create like his own environment, like his own mini environment, where you can hold forward and press R1, and you can throw it as if you would do any other environmental stage object, you know. So it has to be noted. Real good. So he seems to summon it quicker. Yeah, like he summons it faster with a meter burn. But people should be able to set that up easy without having to worry about burning meter, because I think that's a waste. Crystal Slam, which is a punch, and then it has an up and down variation. So Crystal, yeah, knocks him up. You hold down. Yeah, you could probably juggle him really good with that. Then he has up for the crystal punch. Right there. Meter burn. The 16. That's nice. 10% overhead for down. And for up. Yeah, man, you got to be close for the uppercut. Boosts the down like he takes a step forward, you know. Even with, you know, the regular punch, he takes a step forward. And then he has Crystal Blast, which is down back. And he does this punch. Now, keep in mind, all of these moves that I just did, you're going to see these in other variations. Like, nothing about them really changes. Let me just go ahead and just tell you that. But the properties of what they do change. So let me just look at that. Now, in this variation, you know, he stuns him. The meter burn, Crystal Blast. And this one also has an up and down variation. So you can do it upward just by holding up. Or after you do it for pressing down, meter burn pops him up. You see that? Well, if you do like this, yeah, see, you'll be able to. Fuck his life up. Ugh. Okay, so that was that. You can, yeah, this dude has some good stuff. There we go. And I'm glad I did that because I forgot to show his regular specials. It's the specials that he has with every variation. So, which is pretty much the same damn thing. Okay, so what he has is the rock drop, which is down back X. Now, with this one, it's very interesting and it's very good, by the way, because depending on, no matter where you are, just a regular one, just a regular without holding forward or back to do it either closer or further away, it's going to hit the target no matter what. You know, like it's going to end up where they are. So, you know, no matter what. And you can choose to like do it in front of them or in back of them, and that's basically all that is. You know, that's what you be that's what you would be holding forward or back for, to kind of like bait them in, because when they think you're just going to do the regular one, just hold it forward and they can run into it, or if you think you're going to escape, hold forward and you're going to put it in back of them and they might run into it. So that's good right there. And then he has ground pulse, which has a huge build up, but he does unblockable damage right there. Now the meter burn for both of these, by the way, that does 10%. So it goes from what, 8 to an additional 2%. Not that much more damage. With his ground pulse, however, his meter burn ground pulse does 3 hits, opposed to just one solid 8. Can't really measure exactly how much more damage. That's the 7, 22, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that pretty much does over 12 points, 12 point percentage of damage, like a good 12%, a little over that, probably 13. 'Cause I think that first one was like 190. Yeah, I think it does a little over that. But yeah, that was his crystallization. His crystallization probably is his most, I would say, his most defensive one, but you can make it offensive. And, you know, he has some good stuff, man. So let's take a look at his other variations. So his next up, we got Aftershock, where he gains the ground pulse. And again, we're going to take a look at his special moves too, because I think, again, nothing changes about his basic like specials. I don't even know why the hell they gave it a different variation. I don't know. I guess they thought they were trying to do something, but they really didn't need to do that, and you're going to see why in a minute. It's actually very interesting what they did. Now, in none of his variations, he gains any new combos, by the way. So once you learn his combos, like, you're good for all 3. So now notice in that crystallization, this rock, like, it kind of like stunned. Like it stunned him. In this variation, it knocks him back. It knocks him down. It knocks him down. You know. And this one doesn't really, it doesn't bounce him up. Even with the meter burn, it doesn't bounce him up. You know. So, and this one does 12 damage as well. That punch, just like in Crystalline, it did 12. Meter burn does 16. So if you try to bounce him like that, now his overhead did 7. I think in his Crystalline, I think it did more damage. So that's what he has there. But as far as like what he has in this actual variation, what is different in this actual variation? Yeah, I think his boulder throw is different too. I think in Crystalline, I don't think that was. Yeah, that's a hard knockdown. a lot of his moves probably hard knockdowns that people won't be able to get up from. He gains the earthquake or like the ground pulse, where it pulses a good what 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, on the 5th pulse, after 4 pulses, like the ground shakes for unblockable damage. I think is it unblock? No, it's just low. His meter burn comes out a little bit faster, so it goes up an additional 2%. Other than that, and he gains his aerial ground shot. Now this could be good for some pretty nasty mix-ups, because your opponent might think you were about to do like an overhead air attack, but then you switch it up on him and then you do this. You know, like who would really expect that? You know what I mean? Like who would really expect you to do a low hit from the air? That is actually creative. I kind of like that. You know, so with him being able to manipulate Earth, like it does make sense. So that's basically everything that's different in this variation. He gains harder knockdowns, it seems, and you know your opponent isn't able to really get up, isn't able to like get up the way that they may be able to in other variations. Or at least that's what it seems. But the ground pound, I think in the right hands, this could be literally one of his like trickiest variations. In the right hands, they can cause a lot of confusion, and I can see somebody really learning how to, you know, like manipulate, you know, or like time this, because I don't know how in the world. Wait. Because again, it's not unblockable, but you could do a lot with that. Now I could see people doing some good setups with that. Oh, I forgot his rolling cutter. That, dude, you can spam a fucking screen with this shit. I'm just now realizing. Oh, his overhead. I forgot that. His forward and triangle. I never did his triangles. Dude, I suck. His back triangle. His down triangle. Yeah, he does an uppercut. His forward. Does 11. Because he has that. And it's the same. But yeah, basically that's what he has in this one. Hard knockdowns, it seems, and it does have a bit of a distance on it. That's something else I wanted to mention. That dust, that's basically like the hitbox. That's the hitbox, and you know, like it doesn't extend for meter at all. Like the hitbox doesn't extend well with meter, so they had a little pebbles don't do anything. So other than that, everything's basically the same except the properties of his moves change, with the exception of, you know, the earthquake and the air earth shake. That's the only thing that's really different with this variation. Now we're going to get to his metallic, which I feel is going to be his best one. You know, and I'm going to stand by that because I honestly feel this is literally going to be his most lethal variation. In the right hands, this is the variation that they're going to use if they don't choose Aftershock. You know, Crystalline is the more defensive one. Aftershock pretty much is like the tricky one. This one right here, I think is going to be like the combo heavy one. Now, just like the other variations, you know, he still has the regular moves. You know, he throws gold. You know, he does that. You know, he does this, except for this time he actually like tosses. You know, like he gains some distance. But notice that they're not as strong. You know, so basically his best variation in terms of like what he's able to do combo wise is his weakest one. Like it does the less damage out of all three, and I'm glad they balanced it out like that because he gets some good properties in this variation that is to be noted. Now, of course, the cutter still does the same amount of damage, it seems. The overhead, that does, I think that does less damage. No, it does the same amount. I remember that being more. He has his punch, which does more damage. I think that does more damage than the other two, if I'm not mistaken. Then it goes to 16. But the thing that he has different in this variation that I really wanted to speak on, that's right, I forgot to do his overhead. Yeah, see that can get launched into the air and do it on the ground. It pounces, like it bounces to him. So that's to be noted. There we go. Now, what I really wanted to show you guys is that he's actually able to change forms in this. Now, right now, like I have on what is called his gold plate, like his gold plate or his gold armor, whatever the fuck they call it. Let me see. Yeah, on like his gold skin. Now you press down, down, square, like he changes into his lava skin, and things get heated up. So this is going to be the telltale sign. When he's like this, he's probably shoot more projectiles at you, and probably try to keep his distance, if anything. But in this variation, oh man, all hell is gonna break loose. Now, with this variation, say if you did something like, like that, notice that the guy got knocked down. In this variation, that's just gonna take a whole nother turn for the worse for your opponent, and it's gonna leave you up for some good setups to do some additional damage. So if you do that again with his lava skin on, oh, just timed it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it on this side. Notice that it recaptures him. It recaptures him. So that's to be noted right there. Like, it recaptures them. Now tell me that's not cool. Tell me that's not cool. It recaptures them. Out of midair, it recaptures them. Now you don't really have that much time to do much after that. I think the meter burn version probably gives you more time. Yeah, the meter burn version gives you more time to do something, it seems. It seems like it gives you more time, but it really doesn't. Kind of sucks. Alright, his punch. Of course, he still has that. But that recapture is basically the main thing that he has. Oh, and this. Now notice in his other variations, even with his gold skin, it's a knockdown. With this, it's a launcher. With his lava skin, it's a launcher. And of course, that's going to go into everything else. So I wonder if I can... No, you would have to time that so much quicker. Yeah, it's possible to relaunch him with that, but you gotta time it so fast. So, yeah, I gotta do that. Yeah, you can do it, but that requires some good timing. But this right here, this little fireball, that recapture, that's gonna be his most deadliest asset in the right hands. I don't know how much time you really have, because it seems like they can block again. That's a recapture. That recapture is so... Like I said, in the right hands, that is going to be his most deadly thing. It really is. Yeah, like I just feel like that's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. Like I could tell a lot of rage quits is going to happen because of that. Yeah, so that's basically what changes with his variations. Now it gives you this. Now it doesn't do any like extra burn damage or anything like that, but I could see this being like, like a brutality or something. He gains the same distance as he did in his crystalline. I mean, in his aftershock, when he's like that. So, pretty much like you're changing between distance and the ability to recapture. That's basically what's going on here. So overall, Tremor is a good character only in the right hands. He's like the way people say DJ was in up in Street Fighter. Like, if you're good with him, then you're going to use him. If not, then you're just going to leave him alone, because he can be very slow at times, and it's kind of clear he leaves himself wide open, especially for something like this. And in this variation, which I still think is one of his, is going to end up being one of his better variations out of the three. Either it's going to be his best one, or like his second best one. It's going to be between Aftershock and that, but of course you can pick for whatever situation you're in. Oh yeah, I didn't show his X-ray. That's to be noted. Now, one cool thing about his X-ray is that his X-ray isn't an overhead, or isn't like a counter or a low or anything like that. It doesn't hit mid, it doesn't hit high. It hits underground, under the feet, and he can do it from anywhere on the screen. Now, now you guys just see me do it for like mid-range, and you just see me do it close range. Now I'm gonna back all the way up, and you can still see that I can do it from full screen. See what I mean? He can do it wherever. And this is good for a number of reasons. So, if nothing else, Tremor and all of his variations are very good against those zoners, quote unquote, when they're really just spamming, they're not really zoning. But yeah, he counters a lot of spammers between this rock toss, this. Like, he has a lot of options to get around spammers. Especially his X-ray, if you feel like you're gonna need to use it, just to just to get him off your back, because you can. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing good right now. Dude, I can't even do this basic. Yeah. There we go. But it gives you just enough time to get them to... It pretty much gives you enough time to psych your opponent out. It doesn't give you enough time to really do anything else besides that. But overall, he's really good against zoners. He's kind of slow, but he's going to take some getting used to. And I know I say that a lot for a lot of the characters, but he literally is going to take some getting used to, more so than anybody else. So I'm going to take him online. I'm going to practice with him a little bit more. Then I'm going to take him online, and I'm going to see how well I do with him.